Welcome back, everybody, to EU League. Stage 2, Playday number 3 of the 2024 season. We just went through game number 1. Hi, welcome back to the desk. I'm Milos. With me are Fresh and Alfama, and we have a second matchup for you out of the 4 ready for this Playday. Virtus.Pro takes on Team Secret, and we have to go into it starting off with Team Secret. That eye, the logo of the team itself, there's a lot more hidden behind it, Alfama, as we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, I had a lot of expectation on this team coming into this stage. I think I was really impressed with them at Manchester especially. First and foremost, they were not expected to be at Manchester Major, but also their run there was amazing. And now they're back. They're back with their great team, with Grabby back again, that was benched and came back, and they've got Virtu. Arguably one of the best backline that you have in Europe right now. So I had a lot of expectation coming into it, and obviously playing an Ants that look a little bit lost. They had a great win against them, and they didn't play day 2. But what I can say is they look like they were having fun. They look like they were thriving in chaos. One thing though, they're facing Virtus.Pro, one of the most disciplined team in Europe and in the world. So can you really thrive in chaos against Virtus.Pro? I'm not sure, and this is a real test for them right now. And if they need to switch their strategy, if they need to be more methodical, slower, less cheesy plays, bring more Monty, for example, because that seems to work well against Virtus.Pro, can they do it? I don't know.
I've got a stat that's going to say that they can. When they played last week against Ent, they had 5 attacking rounds. They planted in all 5 attacking rounds, so 100% plant rate. That's not just the key. The key is, you're saying, can they be dynamic? Can they be fast? And can they be slow? Well, their fastest plant came 50 seconds into the round, and their slowest plant came at 0 seconds left, and then the median, the middle plants, was all around a minute mark. So they've got they're dynamic, and they've got variation in when and how they're planting and how they're attacking. That's just in one game, so small sample size, but that would indicate yes.
And that is that piece, is that both of these teams could only play one game in our previous week. Of course, we run a 9-team league, so when it comes to scheduling, somebody has to sit out a play day here and there, and that was the case for both of them, so the data is extremely restricted. However, with Virtus.Pro, Jack, there are many people out there, viewers out there, some that I know personally that have been huffing VP Copian for a couple years, but 2024 has not been the one so far.
They've got such an incredibly storied history within Siege. They've got so many fans, so many people that supported these guys when they were in the Team Empire days, when they were in the Rally Major or various 6 Invitationals. They played SI Grand Final 2022, so not that long ago. But it's not gone well for them in 2024, and I think last week was, I suppose, maybe a signal for things to come. It was very underwhelming. They played up against Wolves. Obviously, they only played 1 game last week, so they sat out the first play day, played up against Wolves. They played Clubhouse, a VP map, and it didn't go so well. And I think the big crutch, the big issue for them was on the defenses. They was to come into Monty quite a lot.
I think it was the biggest testament to their lack of adaptation. One of the things that we've mentioned so many times. But look at the way they react to Monty. They don't react to it. They get pushed into a wall. Exactly like this guy. All the time, every round Monty was played, they had no solutions to it. Look at Always Face here. He's facing it, doesn't know what to do, gets pushed back and killed again. That was every single defensive round where they had no answer to it. Losing to Catwalk, losing Catwalk to Capitao and Monty, losing Jim to Monty pushing it. Look at this guy running around like a headless chicken. He has no idea what to do. And that was the biggest problem with them, is they didn't bring the Legion, they didn't bring the Frost, they didn't bring the operator that could counter it. They had no solution for it. And what happens if you ban the Monty? Blitz come in.
Yeah.
You have 0 solution. At some point, you have to have a way to face it and problem solve it.
Anyways, you have to deal with the team that you're playing against making fun of you on Twitter when you end up losing. Or, sorry, X, as some would call it. I mean, look at this.
I mean, Wolf's tweet is really funny there, but look at Always. I mean, that moment where I don't know if the screen is fine. I hope it's fine. I hope he didn't smash it. And I can feel that way sometimes when I play in ranked. I do feel that way. But they've got to find another solution than frustration facing a Monty.
Yeah, and I think that's the key thing for me, is that if they ban the Monty, they might well choose to ban the Monty. The Blitz will be open, and they've got to find a way to play against shields, not just one or the other.
Absolutely. And now our map. And of course, banning certain shield operators might be something to think about on this map here, because we're going to console it. Virtus.Pro in the past, years ago, they're even known Team Empire and the like, you could time them literally. Pro League Finals in Milan, I sat there with Zoronic, bless his heart, and we were timing them entering into every piece of the map. you could do that. But nowadays, they have to change it. Secret has the last say on it where they start on attack.
Yeah, so obviously VP, we talk about them not liking the new map. So we see them take away Skyscraper, Lair. We see them take away also Labs, but they ban the Clubhouse. Obviously, knowing Secret are a good Clubhouse team and have footage on them. That means that Secret get a pick of Border, which is literally one of Secret's favorite maps, or Consulate, which VP don't like. Interestingly for me, they've gone to go and play Consulate. I think both of them, in my mind, was a win for Secret in the map ban phase.
And that's always going to be the case with Virtus.Pro. With such a shallow map pool, with having to force 4 bans every time, they're left with the better maps for Secret or for any of their opponents.
Yep.
And that's the biggest problem I see, is by reducing your map pool so much, you better expect that these 5 maps are the best in Europe, because you're always going to face the better one on your opponent's side. And looking at Consulate right now, they haven't played it in so long. And yes, when they were Team Empire, I faced them on Consulate and I hated it. Actually lost 7-1 when I was in the stream against these guys. It's not the same map anymore. It's not the same story. It's not the same game at all. So many more cheesy operators than Secret can abuse to force Virtus.Pro to fight back and find other solutions than Legion of Frost to Monty.
Then the story is clear from what I hear from both of you. VP have to step up. We wanted them to step up in stage 1. That was not the case. Can they finally do it here at the start of stage 2? We'll have to figure that out and more with the casters, Extra Troika and Demo. Take it away.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining in, and thank you to our desk for giving us that introduction. Demo, we are heading into match number 2 here tonight, and we are going to be headed over to Consulate.
There we go. Yeah, Consulate to go into our second game. I think the fellas in the desk kind of summed up quite nicely the kind of storylines for this matchup. Is Secret been on a great run of form in 2024, making, into the major, making it the top 8 of the major for that team. First time, yeah, quite a big deal. Whereas for VP, they've just kind of lost their magic in 2024 since Invitational.
Yeah, VP, one of those teams that, I don't know, we always sort of question, are they keeping up with the times? Do they need to change? Do they need to keep up with the times? It's one of those maps, isn't it? One of those teams where you just think, are they okay? Are they not okay? Who really knows? Who are we to judge what they do? Secret on the flip side, a team that is well and truly still finding themselves as a team. Of course, bringing in none other than Virtue, previously on G2. He has been brought into the roster, and I've got no doubt that he is going to bring a wealth of experience and knowledge. One of the older players in our scene at the moment. And especially when they've got some young gunners on there, that can always be a nice balance to have those older, wiser heads and keep the youngsters in some sort of a check. The bans, we've got a Monty, Dokkaebi, a Zami, and a Valkyrie. All have been removed here. And we're going to be headed into round number 1 right away.
Here we go. I mean, VP kicking things off in the defense. You would expect that'll be good for them. Consulate pretty defender-sided from what we've seen, but still think the attackers can have some really good attacks, especially in the basement. As long as you can as long as you're a team who has a good sense of how to clear out roamers, I think basement's quite easy, because once you get control of all that vertical destruction, it's quite difficult, I think, for the defense to really stop the plant going down and being able to retake. So yeah, you kind of have to roam. I think you have to roam with your VP here. You need to try and kick things off on a very aggressive standpoint. Don't allow Secret to get that early control. Secret, the players on their side can really put up numbers. I'm looking at Jum specifically. I think this guy, everyone knows that on any given day, he can be an absolute nightmare to deal with, especially in the defense. Wait till you see whenever he can start to rat around. But obviously Grubby coming back was benched. The options that they had, they ended up, Grubby's actually better than what we've trialed, what we've came up with. So it's one of those situations for Secret where there wasn't anything out there that was better than Grubby in their eyes.
I always think it's a strange dynamic that when you get dropped from a team, there's no replacement found, and then you get brought back. I
think it's just awkward, isn't it? It's dead awkward.
Socially, it could be, I imagine it could be very awkward. Now, obviously, you're getting paid, you're a professional, you're doing a job, but at the end of the day, we always talk so much about teamwork, synergy, and friendship is a really big thing in and amongst all of that. And I just think that, I'm not saying that these guys aren't friends, but you've got to have that trust and that respect between yourselves. So you look at it from a couple of different ways.
I have a quote from Savage.
Quote me.
Yeah, he said whenever we heard Grubby's back in, he told us this is what he typed in. He put a beloved son always returns home.
Well, there you go. It sounds like it's pretty wholesome. From Grubby's point of view, he's sat there and he's probably thinking, I might be playing for my spot here. I've got to put up the numbers. I've got to do a good job to maintain that. Already, things are going very well for Secret as we're flapping our gums. Secret have picked up 3 kills here on the entry, and VP, they haven't responded a single time. Virtue's had 3 on his own. He's taken Joystick's head clean off. He's playing on the thermite. He's not even bothered with an exothermic yet. He's been too busy clearing up shop.
Oh my word. VP absolutely demolished on their own game. I mean, Secret just set up their crossfires. A player over towards Visa, a player coming in for main door. You then have, the players then moving in from bench. You're just trying to hit that mid floor just at every angle that you can and hope that then VP will just fall to the crossfires. That's exactly what happened. So VP are going to kick things off with probably should be a flawless defeat here unless somebody gives himself up, as long as they hold their positions, and we'll see who wants to try and go for the kill and get a little bit kill hungry. They have no idea where he is. Bit of info, but Virtue, a quad on the thermite to kick things off. Oh my, oh my. When's the last time we've seen one of those?
Not been for a while, has it? I think he's probably fighting back against all these age-related allegations. I remember I was watching last week.
He's 45 years of age, of course.
I think he's 28 or 29 because I was watching back last. Yeah, 29. I was watching last week, and we had Des and Ace, and they were going on, and poor old Ace was getting targeted a little bit by Des, on the old age topic.
Yeah.
But compared to the average stamp, it's up there. But it just doesn't matter when you can stick 4 kills on a thermite, get the job done. And Secret, I mean, if that round's anything to go by, they're going to breeze through this. Obviously, VP are going to wake up. It was a very slow start, and a couple of things went wrong for them quite quickly there at the start of that previous round. But it's a big confidence boost here for Secret on Cafe. It has done something, though. It has stopped VP going to that same bomb site.
10 seconds left before
I'm going to switch things up a little bit.
I do worry about VP this season, because you would have thought that, the thing with VP is if they play bad on one stage, they usually respond and play really well the next time. We see that, throughout history with this side, but I don't know. I just think the consistency. I mean, they're as consistent as the price of diesel these days. It's either going up or down. You don't know, and that's the issue with VP. They're such an up and down side, but at the moment, it just seems to just keep going down. You look at them how they done EWC, not great, and obviously stage 1 didn't work out for them. So I just think right now for VP. They need to reinvent themselves almost. What the guy said on the desk was they just can't adapt. And if you can't adapt in this current climate with the operators on display, the meta that it is, you are going to be cooked.
Joystick, Pasha, they're both going to get kills here to open things up, and they're not going to be done there. Joystick gets 2, and Pasha taken down. Still on a tear, though. Joystick has the potential to pick up 3 here, and will do just that. Warden with the glasses activated. Doesn't really matter what you throw at him. He's going to send you over. I think it was a Ying there that he was coming up against. A very quick, sharp execute. And VP, answer the critics, demo. They answer you.
Oh, I mean, I
got distracted in that because you mentioned the price of diesel, and I was driving the other day and I was like, oh, diesel's not too bad at the minute. I remember when it was, going really mental.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago.
And I was like, oh, it's just funny how it's stabilized, isn't it? And I'd got onto a whole tin hat thing as I was mooching along. We won't get into it, but round number 3, 1 round apiece here. Fairly convincing rounds from either side, to be honest. We've not seen much trading. We've not seen much, back and forth. It's either been Secret steamroll round 1 or VP steamroll round 2.
It was a classic kind of secret rush, wasn't it? They're a fan of the old rushes. They certainly were last stage. You know, they really developed that into a great sense of play style where they can catch you out with a various multitude of rush strategies. But that, for Secret, that attack, the only reason that they lost that is probably they didn't really bring in a blitz, which you kind of need to clear away yellows. If you don't have the Monty, which has been banned from VP. Thankfully, they listened to the boys in the desk about that. So yeah, I think you needed to bring in the blitz there just to try and get in towards connector. That's the main reason why you bring the shield. And if you just allow a warden to sit inside a connector, which he did, with the goggles on, flashes and smokes ain't gonna help you. He's you know, he's just gonna cause mayhem, and that's exactly what he did.
Dan, and that Boss G that we're seeing so often.
Changing bags.
Boss G really being favored at the moment. And it's not even a region thing, it's sort of leaking into all regions now. Some good info available on the drone as well. Stick just trying to make sure that he's not being found out up there on that top floor, but only a matter of time until a piece of utility is spotted or he's spotted on a drone, and he'll be a target for that Deimos. I am sure of it.
VP, looking at how they want to set up, it does kind of lean into perhaps a bit of a heavier roam game, of course, with the Vigil being brought in. Do you see the top floor roam as well? Fenrir's upstairs and about. Wonder if there's some gadgets upstairs maybe help, but so most of them are going to be situated downstairs. I mean, Secret are able to deal with a roam game with ease during the first round, but there's the Boss G, which this current meta with this gun has just been unbearable for all the attackers. You're going up against the gun, which more or less just one-shots you at any shot to the chest and above. And it is a big issue. Oh, a great gunfight from Joystick. Wins it out against Savage, who was trying to get his team back on course, but now they're even more so away from where they want to be. Grubby's there with the trade, but still, down a man is where Secret lie, and don't have a lot of map control either. Really, that's the issue. They've wasted a lot of time, a lot of manpower for very little, let's be real.
Yeah, there's a minute on the clock, and what really can they do with it? They do have some ability. They've got Selma. They've got a bit of hard breach. They've no soft destruction. So much of Consular is destructible. It can be very handy to have things like Skeleton Key or Sledgehammer at your disposal. They brought the Skeleton Key, but they've lost it already. We might honestly be looking at Virtue to make a big play here like he did in round number 1. Shots exchanged. Dan takes a lick of damage. Seemed very close to being a headshot there, but Virtue is going to confirm it on the swing. That could be the start of something. 20 seconds left to go, and Dream's going to join in on the action. Virtue is going to find himself down. As always, is there to pick him up. 2 versus 2, and that's the diffuser cold. C4 in the hands of Shepard, so he does have the potential to try and deny this, but it's going to be always on first contact. There is going to be a bit of information here. Is the C4 going to land from below? It looks off to me. It's going to do some damage, but it won't stop the plant. Now they know that there's one player below, and there's likely one on the same level, so they can act accordingly, but Jim turns his back, gives himself up, and always is there, ready to take him. Nade comes in now to try and cause a little bit of mayhem, but it's going to be always 3 on the round. Shepard up there to assist, to cause a little bit of distraction. Plenty of time to disable that planted diffuser. That's a better round of Siege from both teams.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it comes down, obviously, to the post plant, always stepping up with the SMG. No info on him. That was the main thing. Secret just didn't have that. I'm surprised that the C4 missed. There's a bulletproof camera inside the site. Just blatant pings going out, and he just misses it. Could have been very costly, but
he pinged on a someone yellow pinged it, didn't he? He C4'd on the yellow ping, but there was like an old red ping over in the corner.
Yeah.
Not sure maybe if the camera got shot and they thought that they'd repositioned, or
no, it was up. It was definitely up whenever he went up to the plant. Pretty sure it was anyway. Should be able to see it in the replay. I hope so.
This is a great kill from Virtue.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what was up early.
Not sure. Either way, the C4 could have sealed the deal, but it didn't. VP chose the hard way to get it done. But the important thing is that they got the round up there. And they're going to take the lead ever so briefly here in round number 4.
10 seconds to go.
I'm glad it's turned into, well, not turned into, we're only on round number 4, but it's back and forth. With the way that I saw Secret playing in round number 1, I was like, oh dear, this could be a very quick game. And then you see the way VP playing round 2, and you're like, well, it still could be a quick game, but for the opposite reasons. Now it's in a very back and forth round. We got a plank go down. It came down to a 2v2. You're thinking, yeah, we've probably got a bit of a game on our hands here.
Yeah, well, we go back to the garage, and this was a great round from Secret, obviously, and I thought their roam clear was top-notch. Didn't work out well for them last round, though, it has to be said. That's where Secret started to fall. The roamers and VP were doing a lot of work.
Bomb located by attackers.
Adrian favoring the shotgun and the pistol combination. That maybe just for that very reason, to make himself a rotate to get into the building, I don't know. He has the shotgun nonetheless. Maybe that's going to be their way of doing the soft destruction. Oh, June. Great little peek. I mean, he's thrown that out. He knows that somebody's probably upstairs with that hole specifically for this reason. Places the Habana pellets, bakes them in, swings, gets a kill. Smart play from June.
Really good job. Nice and self-sufficient as well. He didn't really take too much from the rest of his team to get that job done, and it's already taken down Pasha. There is still a force out there on the roam, though, that does need to be dealt with. Joystick, just gonna get wall banged. Hello, Savage. Bit of info there, I'm sure. Just as the goo mine activates as well in his pocket, and he has the ability to throw another, he is taken down. Further clear of this top floor is going to likely call it as clear. Shepard, though, does have a chance, but Doom, he's all over it. Nothing happening here for VP, and they're really giving themselves up one at a time right now.
Yeah, no trades. No trades at all from VP. The roamers were just situated so far apart from one another. In one player in towards tellers, one player top floor, another player in towards piano. Not the tightest of roams that we've ever seen. I think Seeker have been able to take advantage of that, and it just seems to be a similar story to what the first round was, and VP in the mud. Secret up in the air, flying high. Just a matter of time before they can get themselves into the bomb site, get that diffuser down, and it'll be all she wrote.
It should be that straightforward, but sometimes you get the feeling it might not just be that easy.
Got that feeling?
Dan has a nice angle here, and he's going to stop people from flooding through. There needs to be a distraction. There needs to be something. But Grubby, he's just going to put his face in the way and really give himself up there. 18 seconds left. Now we're seeing a bit of a rotation come out. Doom, he's trying to get himself into a position, but Dan isn't done there. Finds one more before being taken out eventually by Virtue. The plant still needing to go down now, as the death mark is going to be activated on Always. So he's going to know exactly where the Deimos is, but only the Deimos, as the plant will be confirmed. A difficult position to find himself in here. Secret, know roughly where he's going to be coming from and get a glimpse to confirm it right there. He's going to be getting bared down on now as Secret. Not looking to try and play this too aggressively, but June will give himself away. Having said that, he would have been much better off just tucking himself in. We can now see a player making that rotation upstairs, trying to create a little bit of hurt, and leaving Virtue very briefly in a 1 versus 1, which he of course wins because he is firing today.
Oh my. He's looking good. Virtue, especially on the support role. It's not very often you really see the supports pop off. Usually you'd expect, some of the BDS fellas would have one, or Kendry the odd time would have a big pop-off day. But certainly Virtue, new team. It feels really strange. Anyone else feel weird that this guy isn't on G2? He's the longest standing member on that side. He's been there since, what, 2020, I believe? We're now in 2024, and he's in new colors. It's going to get some getting used to. And obviously his now transition into... I mean, it is.
It's still a primarily dark jersey.
You know what I mean? I'm not talking about the color of the jersey. What are you doing, you nerd? What are you doing?
It's not like he's gone from red to blue.
But Virtue's transitioned to straight hard support on this side. He wasn't the hard support on G2. He was more of that kind of flex support. He is getting the diffuser down. That's the role he's playing. And it's obviously going to be a new experience for him. Don't forget, this guy, back in the Fnatic days before he was in G2, was an Ashe main. He was an entry. But as we know, every entry player eventually does transition into Thermite. Kendry was the same. Leon Gibbs was the same. They all start off as Ashe mains, but eventually Thermite will find you.
I just think it depends on what economy we're in. If we're in an entry economy, we need entry players. If we're in a support main economy, we need support players. People just join teams and play whatever they get told. Because you look at what Secret did with Adrian. They brought him in and had him on the Thermite.
Yeah, had him on the Monty as well.
Had him on the Monty. He's not a Monty or Thermite player. He should be an entry or a flex. And it's like the same's happening here. It's like to get onto Secret, you've got to do your 6 months on the Therm. And then they'll take another look at your position and you maybe get a promotion.
I think it's a good role for Virtue. I think it is. I think it's
doing well.
Him quite well now. You know, he's got a lot of experience, obviously more than some of the Secret players would have, as we know. And I think that leadership, you're going to put the leader on hard sport. Let's be real. Come on. We are. But I mean, obviously, Savage does primarily the IGLing for this side, but I'm sure Virtue will probably have a bit of shotgun here and there.
And it's going to be, you know, it's shot calling that you're going to listen to, isn't it? It's whether he's an official shot caller or not, you're going to pay attention, you know, just through that sheer wealth of experience. You'd be daft not to really take that in. That's one of the things that you're picking up as well as a talented gunner. You are picking up all of that experience as well. 2-2 as we sit then. Secret still looking to try and find an edge here on the attack, and Virtus.Pro still looking to find an edge on their defenses. Neither one streaking away right now. We've seen good roams. We've seen roams that have been very quickly dealt with. It's been pretty 50-50, to be honest with you. It very much depends on how this opening engagement goes. VP, they've not shown a great deal of wanting to try and trade things off right now. They are playing quite solo. At least that's the way the previous couple of rounds have gone. You look at June's positioning right now. He's in a great spot to try and cut off players if they do try and make a rotation. He also has the opportunity to put himself upstairs a little bit as well.
Okay. Probably just going to waste an air jab as he threw it right into a nade. No bueno, but we move. There is still one player above that we can see anyway, starting to crawl their way in towards meeting. Probably needs to be ready for that, but for Secret, it looks to be their primary plan is going to be in towards the B bomb site. So the players in Piano you would expect will be fairly safe for now, but speaking of the player in sight, will get pinched now as Savage and co start to aggress, and Grubby will nail that player upstairs. And oh, Pasha, look where you are, locked out. That door being barricaded does him no favors. Shepard below is able to deny the plant for the meantime, but still enough in the bank for Secret to pick it up and go for that defuse once more. Jum will pick it up and be that man going for the plant. Is the cover good enough? But down in the middle of the site. Diffuser planted now into the post plant is where we head. A 2v3. Pasha and Shepard have to retake. 3 players still up for Secret. But is there info? It doesn't look as though there is. Shepard checking his back. Doesn't know where to look. There's going to be a player above. Pasha wins his engagement against Jum, but the diffuser still in the midst of these Secret players. Adrian all by himself as his teammate has moved into the upstairs position. He's up against it, being pressure from both sides. Pistol comes in. Gonna try and go for the swing. Couple of shots here and there. Virtue with a cover above, and he knows exactly where the last player is going to come from. All they have to do is hold on it. Maybe time is going to be the biggest enemy of Pasha. He's able to get the tougher kill onto the player above, but not enough to eliminate Adrian. And even Adrian's thinking, how am I the one that's alive? How have I survived?
I don't think Adrian could have played that any better if he'd have tried. Positioning was fantastic. Maybe could have reloaded the primary in hindsight, but you're not to know in the moment. You know that player's going to push through that door at the least opportune moment for you. Did a fantastic job there. Virtue again on that rotation, just sensing that things could have been going a little bit too far south. Just going, you know what? I'm just going to put myself a difficult shot away. Pasha somehow hits it. Credit where credit's due. But again, it just wasn't going to be enough. That opening pick for Savage really unlocked the round, and there was an explosion of frags immediately after. I think had Pasha even got the kill on True Adrian, it would have been touch and go as to whether there was enough time left, depending on if he knows exactly where the diffuser is planted or not. But Secret, another good round, another good execute. Showing some real willingness to get this plant down and play that post. That seems to be their win condition at the moment on the attack. More than happy to open things up, get a couple of picks, and then immediately get that diffuser down.
Yeah, plant oriented again. The desk really done their work, didn't they? They've really called this game in terms of what was going to happen. You know, VP, Monty ban, immediately. Secret, plant orientated. That has been the name of the game.
it's almost like it's the job, you know?
It is. Yeah, it's great to see them working for a change, isn't it?
I think the desk always does a good job, to be fair. Very difficult to always get it right, but they've certainly done a number on this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what Fresh is like, though? He'll have been in Twister's DMs. He'll have been saying, right, give me some info.
Yeah, would have been all in there, finding out the gossip. Look, I think for Secret, I think it's still a good half. I think 3 attacks on Consulate. Great job. For VP, I think they need this one. I think they need to get that even split 4-2 then. VP, you know, they don't have a Monty either to rely on, for example, as well. It could be difficult. So Secret, certainly doing a great job at getting these rounds onto the board, but VP, again, their own game. I just want to see them play a little bit more compact, a little bit more together. You know, you mentioned it as well for Secret. They've also been very loose. You know, Secret haven't been in positions where they're all together. It's usually been Doom over here, Virtue over there by themselves. You just want to see VP work together and go for these 2v1 engagements.
It's the last round of the attack for Secret right now. They do have a chance to take the lead here a little bit further. Get that 4-2 split. There's going to be a death mark active on always right now. Doom going to be trying to work that angle from below. Flash comes in, but we know it's a Warden. Could this EMP disable the glasses? Are they going to look to try and get a bit of a hop in? We do see the repel immediately go, and Virtue just going to bait out the utility for the time being. The advantage of starting this earlier rather than later is that you can do that. You can just jump yourself out as soon as the Toxic Babe goes, but 50 seconds left and 2 Toxic Babes in pocket. Something else is going to be required here. And it could be the skeleton key from below. The EMP goes out yet again. The smoke lands, and this time it's Grubby. He's going to hop himself out.
Completely fine.
There is another smoke canister here, and they're going to start running out of time if they're not careful, Demo.
I think they're okay. I think 30 seconds left. 1 smoke to go through. Grubby, and again, has more than enough HP to tank some of it. Does land. Grubby will go, and there's the final smoke burned out. Secret, they have used this time so well. They know that's VP's win condition, is trying to play with the smoke, trying to play with the Goyos. Now all it takes is just the last swing in. Hopefully this will be the last one, but what a dash! Look at that from Shepard. He says, Soda, I don't need the smokes, I have a shotgun. And that'll be all she wrote. Has to be. Never mind. Shepard has been eliminated by Adrian. Virtue trying to stick the plant, but no, from below the holes that were open downstairs. What has happened? Secret, it looks so good and then oh so bad.
It was great from Secret. They did a really good job of baiting out that utility. The time, it was a bit touch and go, but it worked. And then all of a sudden, Shepard is allowed to cross. Grubby in that situation, you can't fault him. He's got to get in. He's got to start getting that plant down as soon as possible. And he has to rely on the cover coming in from the window. And I can't remember who it was in the window. I think it might have been Virtue. Just seemed a little bit too far back, too far up on that window, and they weren't really holding the angle. VP showing a real keen eye for detail there, and knowing that if we just push in at the right moment, we're going to be able to get this done. It got a little bit scrappy. See it there, just coming in. Virtue trying to get it done there as he had let the cover slip. But it wasn't going to be. VP a little bit too loose there. They were able to get themselves downstairs as well and take advantage of that Vert. And look at that. 3-3 half here for both of these teams. Doing a really good job of keeping things close, and we've got a nice competitive game right now.
I'm still stunned by that last round. My word. I mean, this is why we do it. Love the game. This is it. This is Siege. Anywho.
Do you want another interesting stat?
Oh,
it's hardly it's not an interesting stat. I'm not even going to say it.
Okay, so you've just lied to me. That's fine.
Yeah. What do you think about the old IQ coming in here? We've got Dan. Does favor that IQ quite often. You're going to be trying to find out some of those electronics, but of course with the Valkyrie band, you kind of draw into question the IQ pickup somewhat.
I think IQ more than anything is it's a comfort operator more than anything. I think players like the gun specifically. That's probably a big reason why. Because like you mentioned, there ain't going to be a lot of value that you're really going to get with the scanner per se, but obviously brings in nades as well, which can always be helpful. And like I said, if Dan preferences the commando, then you know let him have it. Let him have the commando if he wants to go for that. It is certainly something that happens a lot with players where they will just get themselves into an operator that they feel as though they can do a lot of damage on. But at the moment for VP, things are certainly slow on their end. They've only just gotten themselves in towards that top floor. And they're now starting to rip open the floor. Only got 1 kill for their troubles, but also have lost 1 as well. I wonder how Secret are going to defend this, because looking at their lineup, it's not as though they have like a whole kind of denial pipeline that they're ready for. They have 1 C4 and that's it. A lot of the operators that they've brought in are more for, you know, the util on site. You look at the castle, you look at the Melusi. Those operators don't have C4s. Only the bandit who gets that. So for VP, I think that bodes well for them. As long as they can bait out just the 1 C4, I don't think planting is going to be too difficult for them.
It shouldn't be. The thing that's going to cause VP problems is likely going to be the clock. 40 seconds is all that is left. And I'm going to say all, because if you look at the positioning of these players right now, it isn't looking too promising. This is shaping up to be a 3-man drop through a hatch.
Bottom floor attack.
Going to be announced there as players start to flood on down into servers. Now there's a chance to get this plant down, but everyone has to win the gunfights. Fortunately for VP, that's exactly what they've done. Shepard, he's able to get that diffuser planted, likely without fuss, as his teammate will fall in the meantime. Joystick, but he's already done the hard work. Now it's all about just holding on, and holding on they will. Shepard and Dan clean up, and the hatch drop works. It pays off.
Yeah, great play from VP. Great decision making. Let's just try and hit the bottom floor. We don't have to worry about getting C4'd from below. They probably looked at it as, we have no control towards the, you know, the kind of mid floor. You know, we have nothing in towards piano or lounge or anything like that. All of it has to be, you know, kind of forced in towards that basement side, because they were able to open up, you know, the hatches, being able to get themselves in towards the single wall, the exterior breach, the secret wall. I think great decision making from VP. For Secret, were they expecting that? Maybe not. Didn't look as though they were. It's just one of those. I think Secret were more geared up, hoping that, hey, they're going to take the bait, they're going to try and go in. We've got bulletproofs on site, we still have players in towards mid floor. You know, we'll be able to retake that mid floor site, but no, wasn't the case for them that round.
Good adaptation there from Virtus.Pro, and especially to see that opportunity and take it. It didn't have very many fail safes though. If a couple of those gunfights go the other way, Shepard's got no cover to get that plant down, and the round crumbles. And Secret will be aware of that, so I don't think they'll feel too hard done to, or like they messed up too badly. This time though, they've gone for a lot more denial. Virtue switched off the Melusi. He's going to be on the smoke instead. We've got 2 C4s being brought as well. So it does feel as though they're a little bit more cognizant of that potential push and that potential plan. But something that VP do incredibly well is they almost bore you to move. Because they can be very slow on these attacking rounds, you do just get the feeling that sometimes defenders just get itchy feet and they just want to try and make something happen.
Doom and the Solus. That'll be again hit with another little change coming in, of course, tomorrow. Big patch day tomorrow. But for the meantime, Solus still working as is at the moment, being able to scan all of that utility with ease. A little bit more difficult whenever the patch comes in. And for VP, it's about information, really. That's what they're kind of after. They're looking to see where the weak points are. Being able to use the operators like the Deimos, the Grim, the Capitao, just to kind of blitz into those positions. That is what it's all about for them. For Secret, it's all about trying to almost form the layers where you're trying to hold in towards admin, then you fall back, you then hold the big long corridor. That doesn't work, then you just try and hold on the site. That's the game plan here for Secret. Burn away that utility as best as you can, and more importantly, the time.
We're doing a good job of that. Time is continuing to tick as it always does. Halfway through the round now, and all 10 players still alive. Doom seeing if he can gather any info on that Solace. He knows there's going to be players inside of admin. He just doesn't necessarily know where. Maybe looking to feed that information across. Of course, if he knows where they are, then we've got a good idea of where they aren't at the same time. Doom is going to go good on some of that info and be able to take Dan out of the equation. That's the IQ gone, so his only direct counter really is the Solace has been taken out, and he can now tuck himself in such a powerful position in behind that vending machine, and if it isn't droned, it can be devastating.
If it's drones, that is the issue right now for VP. They only have 3 of them left. Most of them were eliminated by said player in behind the vending machine. Pasha able to find Savage, who took a walk downstairs, it looked like. Trying to flank Pasha as he now makes his way in towards the corridor. Solace now going to be scanned, naded out, everything being tossed towards him. Great clear out from VP, but now the clock becomes their enemy. 20 seconds to go. They've got control of the corridor, and now Secret just have to hold on to the site, and they have the means to do so. They have the smoke clogging things up. We see the dash come in, but always with the LMG. Able to give the cover. VP looking to be successful here around number 8, and always lets it sing. Secret falling at the final hurdle almost. It looked as though it was going to be there for them. They played the time to a T, but it still wasn't enough.
That LMG is like a red button. You say don't press it, and what do people do? They just put the head in front of it. Don't peek the LMG. Peek. Don't peek the LMG. Same angle. Peek. Don't peek the LMG. Peeks. Always really doing a great job of landing his shots there. I don't think it's too much surprise to see a tactical timeout called.
Yeah.
There were some fundamental problems there from Secret. It's very difficult when VP are on the attack and any team is on the defense to say that the defensive team have wasted the time, because VP spend so much, and I'm not going to say waste, VP spend so much time on their attacks that it's almost sometimes difficult to say that the defenders really did anything for that, because they do it every single time. They do it nearly every single round that they attack. And the way they dealt with the Solace was fantastic. You commented there was no drones, and they look down the, you look down the list of what they've got. Right, what's the most ideal thing? A drone. It's the quickest and easiest. What's the next thing? Probably a Deimos. Bang, hit it with the Deimos, stuns, nades, everything. Put him in a position where he's got to swing or he's going to die from the nade anyway. This was always, don't peek the LMG, I just died from that angle. Oh, okay, peeks the LMG.
10 seconds
Next
remaining.
kill. And, well, yeah, kind of got to peek the LMG because I'm 1 versus 3, but same rules apply. Big round from always.
Secret, obviously a little bit rattled, calling the timeout. A great time to do so. You've lost those 2 rounds. I mean, even, the round prior to them switching over to the defense, their final attacking round, again, probably should have thought we should have won that. A lot of rounds just not being able to be capitalized here by Secret today. That's what's costing them. VP VP are just hanging in there, aren't they? A lot of the rounds they haven't looked too confident either, but it's Jurassic Park. Life finds a way, VP find a way.
It's just coming down to mistakes at the end of the day, isn't it? VP are making fewer mistakes right now, and they're conversely winning more gunfights. I haven't really highlighted anyone apart from Virtue and talked about kills. Virtue obviously had a standout first couple of rounds and continued to do relatively well, but Savage 2 and 7, Adrian 5 and 4, Grubby 3 and 7.
Yeah,
these are just gunfights that aren't being won.
I mean, even Jim's negative, like 6 and 7. It's not great, is it?
Not ideal at all.
Oh, look at this from Dan. This is sneaky. Silencer on the shotgun. Also, what makes a difference? You're still going to hear the shot. Up he comes. He's going to blast anyone who could be playing close on the other side of that wall, and obviously looking to get in towards the connector. One thing I do like about VP is that they're bringing in the Blitz. Mentioned before, Blitz is great at taking control of top floor. Just get yourself straight in towards the connector. That is the ideal position that you want to be in. There's a Banshee, though. Which will help Adrian here just to give that advantage in the engagement. If it goes off, somebody's going to be up right on him. Look at this. Let's be careful if somebody's going to the flank, but no! He balls the shot, Virtue. I mean, he just blatantly eats the shot right to the body. but still ends up winning the engagement. My, oh my. I mean, Dan's going to be just absolutely fuming that he's not died.
Shouldn't have had the silencer on. Should have let the full power rip through. I don't think it would have made a difference at that sort of range.
Not anymore.
Virtue did a good job there. That's something that you need to go in your favor, really. You need maybe a little bit of luck at this point just to keep you in it. A couple of shots going to get sent in onto Shepard there as well. There's not a lot that a Blitz can do about a player above. There is no roof to that shield. It is just a little tiny shield. I say tiny, smaller than Monty's, but not a great deal you can do if someone's going to be pressuring you from Vert. So a rotation is going to be required, and this is going to further eat into this time. 35 seconds is all that remains right now. It's going to be a bit of a hop in. A little bit of smoke to cover, drone to go in and to gather that information. Those Banshees even, they're going to do their part right now as they will slow down this push ever so slightly. That could be all that Secret need to hold on.
Oh my word, joystick threads the needle. Shepard is in, going for the plant. Is nobody home for Secret? Is nobody there? Not another blunder from Secret. It can't be. Savage just drop it. Is it too little too late? Up against the blitz. You're Warden. You have goggles. You are immune, Savage. Pasha eliminates him as he's running blind through the site. Always now in the 1v2, he's above. He should have a clear line of sight onto the diffuser, but maybe not. He should do. The floor's been opened up above him. Doom has missed his C4. Will it be a retake from above while one player tries to stick it? It could be. Has he got eyes on this? I don't know. Always has to make a move. Grubby knows where he is. Surely not always. Can he see it? No.
What a calamity of a round.
Get me
What have
here.
we just seen? Anything that could have gone wrong went wrong for both sides. You can see the look on the players' faces. Even they know that that was just an absolute cluster.
It's a bad round. Bleach. I need bleach. Get my eyes bleached.
I think it all starts with that kill onto Dan, doesn't it? Virtue sets the tone. He gets the kill onto Dan, point blank shotgun, and lives on 10 HP. And then from there on out, it's just small little things that are happening, like Shepard being allowed to slip into sight. This was where it all started. I mean, how is that not a kill? I'd be screaming, how is that not a kill? That shot from Joystick as well, an incredible shot.
Savage.
He had the beams, he had a horrible angle. Savage blundered, I'll give you that. And then this was just heartbreaking.
Attacker's objective is
I'm sure it could have gone to different Vert though. They knew where the plant
was any open for him. I don't think there was. I think that was it.
Because when the C4 went up, I was like, why have you done this? Why have you given him a hole? You've given him a line of sight.
That was what he was swinging from, was the C4 hole. There wasn't actually, you know, one on top of the diffuser. All he could see was a foot. That was it. I don't know where we go. I don't know where we go now. My head's out the window. Basement time.
He needs to get it back in the game.
I'm trying to.
Round 10, important round.
Honestly, Troy Bolton's going for my head. Got to get my head in the game.
Stay clear.
Well, the wall's going to get open without a hitch. Shepard making very quick work of that, getting that done in the first 50 or so seconds.
No
There's
bandit.
going to be little yokai available this time. And it's a shame for VP because it's one of the few rounds where Dan hasn't actually played the IQ.
I mean, this is always camera. Always hacked the Echo Cam.
Oh, he's hacked it. I see.
Oh,
I'm still getting used to the new UI, I'll be honest with you.
He's found the Legion. And Legion has no idea that there's an Echo Cam giving out just plain as day information. He doesn't even know that he doesn't know that as always has hacked the camera. He has no idea. Oh, Grubby. Into the meat mincer he goes. Virtue, though, able to get the trade with a C4. So it's not all bad, but look at Savage upstairs. 5 HP to his name. He got into an engagement. Very lucky to be alive right now. But VP, the time again. Where is the 2 minutes gone? Where has it gone? What has happened in these 2 minutes? An echo cam's been hacked and that's it?
They must be having so much fun because time is flying. Pasha gonna find himself yet another right now. There's a kill over onto Virtue. He's been one of the star players so far in this fixture. Dan sees to it that Savage is also sent to the cameras. It's death by 1,000 cuts, really, isn't it? We've not seen much focus on the site. We saw the wall get open, but that's about it. And now the plant's starting to go down. Shepard in position to get that down, always with the cover, and Pasha from above. Didn't even leave the room that he started it all in. VP, map point.
It just feels so secret the wheels have come off. I mean, that was just a lifeless round, it felt like. Very solo again. Nobody there trading each other. I mean, Virtue got a C4 trade, but is that, you know, the trade that we want to see where, you know, players are together with each other? Obviously, Grubby, unfortunate to walk into the echo cam that was hacked. And he got absolutely ripped apart. Even, you know, Savage upstairs on a solo roam by himself. Didn't have any impact. Savage is obviously having a really bad game. He was 3 and 9 as it stands, Ollie. He's really been struggling against VP. Just feels like maybe a secret if they gave up.
I'm not sure if they've given up, but they just seem to be really struggling to stay present in this fixture. There's small things that are happening that you just sort of looking at it and going, that probably shouldn't be going down that way. They weren't successful defending here either.
You don't think gunfights, VP have just been on top of it for a lot of the rounds?
Well, I mean, there's only one player that's positive on the side of Secret, and it's Virtue. So, yeah, absolutely. I think Pasha's had a fantastic game. Joystick's hit a few nice shots. I don't know that he's been, like, standout. I would definitely give it to Pasha so far. Can't see the KD at the moment. It is hidden. And unfortunately, I can't keep track of all 10 players, but there it is, Pasha. 11-7 right now. Always 12-4 as well, so it's actually always, really. I think he's maybe had a couple of multi-kills, and that's what's giving him that little bit of an edge. And you can hear the LMG raining down again this round. This was the LMG round from a couple ago.
And goes the Deimos. Good pick to get. Obviously, that was an issue for them. Last time they were up there, it was able to just ping out, you know, that Solus who'd gone missing. Destroyed all the drones, still had a way of finding them, though. So 4v5 is how it stands for VP. They've lost that opening pick. I mean, just looking at the way that even Savage on the Solus now, and the way that he's been playing, he's looking to get aggressive. It almost feels like Savage just wants to try and get some kills, and Jum has went for a swing. It's paid off because he got his one before being traded back, and look, hey, he's a Goyo. He's already placed his utility. It's fine as long as he gets that kill. It just muds VP even more so because that's a great operator to eliminate the Grim. Utility gone. Again, for VP, things are going from bad to worse, and really all the operators, probably bar, you know, the IQ, you would want to stay alive. So any more picks that they suffer, it's not going to be great for them. LMG, once again, raining on through, but for VP, not a lot to really play off. I would say that VP, the way that they have attacked today has been very minimalistic. They haven't looked to gain control of like the entire map, just small parts of it.
They're just doing a really good job of bullying small spaces, aren't they? But not in this round, at least not at the moment. They are down by a man, but that by no means paints the picture as to how this round should or could end. Dan? Got a nice angle there onto long desk. Shepard gonna come and join him now as well, and a lot relies on Secret right now, and little peaks like that are gonna cost them because eventually some of those shots are gonna start landing. Let's see if Flores drone is gonna get sent in, but it will be shot out despite the efforts from the Capital to keep that safe. Toxic Babes can now come in to try and stem the flow of these attackers, and they should be able to cut out the remainder of the round here. 30 seconds left, and one Toxic Babe canister in pocket. The second one they're getting used quite early. But a bit of a rotation into this behind the vending machine spot. Can Adrian bait? Well, they can also get a kill over onto Shepard. That furthers Secret's advantage here. 10 seconds left, and we see Dan downed on Spiral. It's all down to Always. He was the big man, big player in the previous round, but not this time.
Yeah, much better from Secret. I mean, obviously the opening pick helps them a lot, gives them a little bit more of a confidence boost. You know, Doom, again, sees that opening pick. He thinks, right, maybe I can add on to this, gets his kill, and then 3 players left against 4. Losing the Grim, yeah, really difficult for VP to see a win coming out of that, but still have the chance to secure all of the points. Still on that match point. Secret of the team battling back, seeing if they can take it into OT. But what's the site going to be? This is the tricky part now for Secret. Where do they go? Do they go basement again? There's no way they go basement again. Oh, well, it is basement, but it's the split bomb site.
Kind of right. It's the split, isn't it? This, to be fair, this was the round that kind of defined VP's start on the attack, because it was the round that 3 of them dropped the hatch inside of Tellers, inside of Visas, and basically won the round through sheer gunfights, which has been the theme of the game so far. Although it's a close map at 6-5, gunfights have definitely been favoring VP right now, and they were able to brute force their way onto the site and cover Shepherd while that plant was going down. So you'd maybe argue that that isn't something that's too repeatable, and Secret are going to feel like they've got a bit of a chance at this site.
See a setup from Secret. Again, that roam game kind of extending kind of vertically and horizontally. You've got the presence upstairs towards the top floor, and then also in towards lounge, in towards piano, for example, as well. They're just making sure that everything's going to be covered. They're trying to make VP work for this as much as they can. So a great deal off the map will be in control of Secret. It's up to VP to see how they want to deal with that, but knowing VP the way that they have attacked throughout all of these rounds, they will just pick probably 1/4 of the map and then go from there. So they'll send some players above, then they'll look to rotate in towards the mid floor, kind of their half, the Visa half, and then in towards that basement, coming in through that secret wall. That is how VP like to attack.
Let's see if that's how they approach it. They have the Ram, so they're going to be looking at some sort of vert. This top floor is seeming quite clear at the moment from the drone that we've got. Pasha is going to continue to just drone on a little bit. Virtue will be a bit deeper, though. Just on the transition between CEO and meeting. If he's unaccounted for, could be very dangerous right now. Although saying that, he's getting wall bang there from bathroom. The hop in was good. The camera has been hacked. If anyone's on it, they might be able to call out that Savage is also on the flank here and coming up to assist Virtue. Dan, he's going to kick things off with the kill over onto June, but Savage has been successful for a brief time.
Why are we swinging?
Alleviating some of that pressure, but Dan is going to take him out from the skylight.
Savage does so well to win that against Joystick, who was in a bit of a tricky position, you know, an area that they didn't really know if he's there or not there, and then Savage just swings skylight and just gives the man advantage right back in favor of VP. Virtue upstairs fighting for his life, wins that against Pasha. There has been a down as well in the bomb site. Always is bleeding out. Shepherd, though, was snuck in by himself to get that diffuser down, and it's only down to Shepherd as Grubby has picked up 2 kills. Shepherd, where does he want to go? It looks as though he's just gonna lock down Secret, back up against the wall. There's no way out. As soon as they know that he's there, there's only one place that he can swing from. See the cardiac scanner, trying to spot him out. It looked as though they missed, though. Do they know where he's planted? Maybe is that the issue? They should spot it now. There's a player right beside it. 12 seconds to go.
Have eyes on the diffuser.
Virtue has to try and cover. They should know where he is. Grubby will begin the defuse. Shepherd, proning, pre-firing, misses his shots, and we're going to overtime.
Another round that you just look at and go, what in the world has happened right now? We had it in round number 8. We've got it here again as we send ourselves into an overtime. I honestly couldn't tell. I could not tell which way that round was going. Usually you get a good idea. You can see, yeah, this is locked in. Yeah, this is sewn up. No. For Shepherd to blunder at the final hurdle, for Virtue not to be able to hit his shots, and Grubby's just on the diffuser going, please, this is for my spot on the team. If I get this diffuse, it's going to be all good. They need me here.
Look, I'm 25 years of age, relatively young, especially compared to yourself, for example.
Rude.
Do I have to worry about high blood pressure at 25? Do I?
No, but you have to worry about going grey. Early grey is apparently a bit of a thing at the minute.
It's chat. I'm going grey. I've seen it last night. I'm just disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in my jeans.
No, but you go Silver Fox at that point.
No, we can't do it.
Why not? So it's like Paul Hollywood, Silver Fox style. Silver Surfer.
Attacker's objective is to
It's a
defuse
sad
the
day.
bomb.
Sad day to go grey, but look, I'm going more grey. Oh, I think Siege is the reason, by the way. Has to be. It's the only stressful thing in my life.
We head into an overtime now, and VP are going to stay on the attack, so they get to continue what momentum they did have. And Team Secret, they get to continue what momentum they had as well as they stay on the defense. Banamaru, Blitz, and a Ying combination here, so we might be looking at something, I'm not going to say quick, but once it starts, it might be fairly concise. And could be, well, it's almost certainly going to be fairly direct.
I think it's fun. That's probably what you'd like to call it. A fun lineup.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah. But, like you said, can just be... It's go big or go home, isn't it? That's what Rush is. It either works or it doesn't. You know, there's no in between. It either looks incredible and we're sitting there singing your praises, or we're sitting there thinking, yeah, what are you guys doing?
Something that neither team has taken advantage of is the fact that Ying's available.
I mean, we've seen Ying in the early start of the game, but look, Warden is up, which I think is probably the reason why. I mean, Warden's a perfect counter to
Yeah, but it's Savage on the Warden. He doesn't realize he's got goggles.
That's true. That's very true.
Quick hop in there. Look at that for aggression. How does he lose that? Grubby saves the life of his teammate Doom. Taking down that Blitz. Savage, he's not done there. He's activated his goggles this time. He's found the right button. A hop in from Pasha is going to shut Grubby down, but that early exchange goes firmly in the favor of Secret. They were very, very good at getting that job done there. Dan is going to find one on Virtue as a response, but Savage gives himself up for free. Turns his back there to the yellow stairs. And as quick as he was there, he has gone. Adrian trying to see if he can salvage something. He's got the shot. He's going to hop himself over the top rope and take Pasha down.
What is going on? 2v2 or 1v2? Doom! He's got a kill with a shotgun from above, and Dan also has a shotgun. All of these operators have a shotgun and SMG, by the way. Every single one of them. But who's better? Who's the better combination? And what is Dan going for here? 30 seconds, makes himself a rotate, plants, jumps for the rotate. See if he can bait a kill onto the vertical holes. This is a blind spot, keep in mind. But they'll know where he is. Doom can give out that information. He's gonna stick it. Dan, gonna be there, and oh, barely gets out of there. And now Dan in the post plant in the 1v2, but both players are gonna be full HP. This is difficult. Needs to hit the headshots. Oh my word, Doom just drops into the open space. Dan, there's no way. You're not allowed to win that. But he does. My, oh my. What is this game? What on earth is this? Look, the Aussies were on earlier, Ollie, and I was watching some of their games. They were manic. I think we're giving them a run for their money.
It's not far off, is it? It's one of the crazier games of Siege that I can remember watching for a long time. Dan in the clutch. Played it to perfection.
Why is it always us, by the way, that gets these games?
I think you just feel it more because you live in it.
It's always me. Why always me?
This was the play that I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How the heck has he lost that? And then all of a sudden you see that and you just think, yeah, well, that's how, isn't it? Like, VP are just getting lucky today. And it all comes down to this final shot.
How does he win this? He should never win that. 2
headshots, to be fair to him. He's done a great job. Doom really jumped the gun there. Such an early drop, especially considering they obviously had no information.
I mean, you have to give credit to Dan, though. He was really smart the way he played that. Made himself a rotate. Knowing that you plant in the position that really you're not going to get kills from. Bit of a blind spot. You then have to get out of there. you're not just going to run across an open bomb site. You will die. So he makes himself to rotate right beside him to get out in towards finish. You have to give credit to Dan. Big brain play. Phenomenal work from him. Keeps his team in it now, and they lead once again, 7-6.
Could be the defining play for the game as well.
Located by attackers.
We'll have to see. It's been a long time since Secret have been on the attack, and equally a long time since VP have been on the defense. Secret, they like to play things fairly quickly sometimes. We've seen them have very clear and concise roam games. Then on the flip side, we've seen them really struggle. The trades were really not happening in the first half of the game. It's gotten a little bit better as the fixtures moved on. But ultimately, we're going to be looking at this first engagement quite keenly to judge the pace of this round number 14.
Tracker on the prowl.
Deimos getting sent out there. It's going to be out on the track. Dan will be the target on that mute, but strange to target a mute because he knows where all his jammers are, so he can just run into one.
Savage. Creeping around. In towards yellow. You would expect that somebody will be inside a connector waiting for him. Should be aware of that, and well, the drone that was going to scout it out does get shot. As we can see from the outline, somebody is in there. Flashbang. Gonna go out, and Savage challenging against the Warden again. And what's going on here? Adrian finally gets the kill on the joystick. Secret. The old smash and grab again has worked out for them. They went for the 3-2-1. They've all jumped in windows. They've all won engagements. And VP in the 2 versus 4. Smoke canisters to try and give Shepard a bit breathing space now. Dan is going to be Deimos scanned again. They know exactly where he is, but look at this, Ollie. Secret, they've got their kills and they've slowed the pace right on down to their level and where they want it to be.
A brilliant call as well, especially with how much time's left. This is what they're really able to do now and work this clock. These engagements that we've been seeing when VP have been attacking have been happening in the final 20-30 seconds. Now you look at it and you think, well, one Toxic Babe canister left. Dan is going to find Doom on that rotate, trying to backstab. That's likely what Secret were waiting for there, to get him into position to then cause a little bit more chaos. And they're going to have to wait for a different trigger. Toxic Babe canister does go in. A hop out is successful. Virtue juggling the diffuser over to Grubby this time. But a rotation downstairs. Dan, is he going to be able to find the Vert? Has he got the time to make the run over? All questions that we'll find the answer to. Shepard left on a 1 versus 3 on the site right now. But honestly, Dan could single-handedly win this. A down comes in, the shotgun at close range. It isn't successful. Grubby, he finds one onto Shepard. The diffuser, though, is cold. And Virtue has no choice but to get the plant down. Is there any information here for Dan to work with? There's a yellow ping. He's going to disregard the body on the floor. Instead, finishes him off on the way through. He's got an important engagement to win now. The stun goes out, but Virtue flashes himself. There's live ping information right now. And the shots are found. Dan, how's he managed to get it through round that reinforcement? A fantastic pick. Fully deserved of the glory moment here. He's played fantastically all night long. VP, they take the win over on Consulate.
What a game. What a map of Consulate we've just witnessed. Incredible. Look, it wasn't the cleanest and picturesque map of Consulate you ever see. It was scrappy. There's moments where it was awful. Let's not be two ways about it. But what the entertainment factor, though, right at the very top. What a game. I've thoroughly enjoyed that one. Look, VP, you mentioned before, they're the team that made fewer mistakes. That's what it boils down to. Both teams had a lot of mistakes. They just made less of them. Secret choking a 2v4. Like, that should not be happening. Secret really have let a lot of rounds slip today. I feel as though there were so many times this game where it just looked as though, yeah, they're set up really nicely. They're in good positions. They've played the kind of first half, the first opening really well. And it boils down to that final minute and everything goes out the window.
Yeah, well, VP are fantastic under the clock, and we know that is one of their strengths and one of the reasons why they can continue to play the way that they do. not only did they make fewer mistakes, I feel like they also had big clutch plays, and they had more of them as well. There were players that stood out there to me. You look at players like Dan, you look at players like Always, real big highlight moments. And Secret, on the flip side, they had some of those moments, but overall just a little bit quieter. We're going to send this one over to our desk, and they're going to break it down.
Well, this game was anything but quiet, and definitely our casters were not. Enjoyed listening to it. I also enjoyed watching it, because the entire time we're thinking, God damn, this is really damn close.
It really was, and it was one of the most enjoyable consulates I think I've ever watched. Like Demo said, I don't think it was spectacularly good from a strategic aspect, but from a pure entertainment aspect of every single round coming so goddamn close, it was incredible. Now, this roster is not their first time on Virtus.Pro side. The core of this roster has been involved in an entertaining consulate. Way back when at the Mexico Major in 2021, I want to say it was.
Yep.
Team Empire, which was this roster, played out one of the most incredible consulates ever with BDS in that semi-final.
Yep.
These guys know how to put a spectacle on this map. And even here you see in a Bravo stealing an Echo Cam and using it to kill a Legion. It had absolutely everything. But the tail of the tape for me, the big story, the big underlying factor is that whoever had basically the nous to win the late round, to hold that composure, to win it in the final seconds, was the team that was going to come out on top, and that was Virtus.Pro.
I mean, if you want to play the composure game, the experience game, the nerves game, you're not going to want to do it against Virtus.Pro. These guys have some of the biggest amount of experience in the EU League, if not the biggest. They've been together for so long. The amount of times where they brought back rounds that they should never have won. And on the other side, Secret as well. It was such a crazy, crazy match where, for many reasons, they had these huge individual moments. Look on VP's side. Dan, 14-6. Always 14-8. 13-11. They had these crazy moments. Also on the other side. But yet you still see, in terms of domination, it still felt like VP was more in control of the game. In general, I think strategically they were winning. And the reason for this is something that I found very surprising is Secret tried to play the Virtus.Pro game. They played disciplined, step by step, not the chaotic playstyle I saw them having. It's great that they show that they're able to play it. Is it really the way you want to play against Virtus.Pro? I'm not sure, because you're trying to beat them at their own game, and they've been doing it for 5 years. So maybe trying to be more chaotic and bring more cheesy operators would have worked better. But in general, Virtus.Pro, stellar with the experience. Even with their lost rounds, they brought it back every single time. It was a crazy moment, crazy match.
We should be sat here talking about Secret winning this 8-6. The 2 rounds in overtime that VP got it done literally in the post plants was phenomenal.
It absolutely was. And if you're just watching the first half, you're like, okay, 3-3, we're going to have a good time. But then things started to slip away, and then they slipped back in. And then when we went to overtime, there was a lot of back and forth. And I think all of our hearts were suffering because of that, Alfama.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the end, it's exactly what you said. It was all about nerves at that moment. I think there was a tipping point. In that round, what I see here is probably one of the biggest tipping points. Is that moment where he misses the shot, that toe shot on the diffuser on round 9. And there is a second one here where he's actually missing here because of the desk. 2 rounds they should have won. In post-plant, you argue they should be winning this. And again, crazy moment. Sends the whole magazine into the desk and they lose it. Every single time you think they could not get away with it. And every single time, here this time on Virtus.Pro side, 1v2 from Dan. Double kill after post-plant. Once again here, this was a 2v4. And again, they somehow bring it back with a 1v2 and then the 1v1 won from Virtus.Pro. Crazy nerves, crazy discipline, crazy moment from crazy players. A lot of experience on this side that really showed why they won this.
Absolutely the case, and what a game that we had to enjoy. Thank you very much for breaking things down here, Alfama. But we're here to ask some questions, and as relevant as they get, we have Joystick joining us. Joystick, how have you been? Congrats on the win. How you feeling?
I'm feeling not good because I'm playing individually bad, but anyway, we won, so it was a crazy game, crazy comebacks from them, crazy rounds. I don't know, like, we can end this a lot earlier, but sometimes, you know, luck not on your side, so sometimes it is. In this game, it was like both ways, so it was a crazy game.
Do you think it was luck, Joystick, or do you think it was that your team maybe has a little bit more composure in the late rounds? Because, you know, I suppose your style of Siege is quite well known. You're used to playing those late rounds and those clutch moments.
Yeah, sometimes, like right now, there's like a more chaotic meta in my opinion, and sometimes you just need to use these like specific operators to just use the 1, 2, 3 push meta. I don't know, like it's really crazy working right now. Some people playing like Blitz, Yink, and some stuff, and they just like rush every round, and it works. I don't know how, but you actually wait them. You know that they will push, and they actually push every time, and it works. I don't know how, but like it's crazy.
Sorry. So speaking about the blitz that you just spoke about, you banned that last week, and obviously Wolves played the Montaigne against you. You played, you banned the Montaigne today. Are you guys just not a fan of shields whatsoever?
Yeah, we are not fan of shields like at all. We try to play it like as well as in last game and at Clubhouse. I try to play Monty and it works for us sometimes, but like Wolves are abusing it so much. I'm like, it's not aggressive to Wolves. They just this operator, in our opinion, is so OP. Like you can't do anything to him like in close distance because he pushed you. He have a lot of info. Like he's like the door that have every info on your operators when he is pushing on side. So like for us it's so hard to play versus this operator, and we want to ban Blitz because we think that Wolves is more aggressive team. They likes to push on side in early timings, and we didn't ban Monty as we're doing on like some maps on Club, and it was our mistake. They just won so many rounds because of it.
Now, Joystick, something that both our wonderful analysts were mentioning is that today it seemed like Team Secret played very strategic. They played the Virtus.Pro game, which is slow and low and keep it going that way. Do you think that's what helped you today? And in the future, should that change against a different opponent, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to flex around it? Because a big criticism from everybody going around is that Virtus.Pro don't seem to be a very flexible team and strategy.
Actually, for me, like sometimes on scrims, everyone running around, like every single person. But on official games, they like struggling to do it, and they go back on site on more earlier than on scrims, for example. So maybe it was the way. Maybe they have the strategy that they need to go back earlier. But for my opinion, yeah, we expected from them like more aggressive plays than it was today. So I don't know what happened. Maybe it was their plan, but maybe they know that we are a slow team and we will redraw and everything. We have low timings and stuff. I don't know actually, but I think it helps us because we know that they are everyone on site. When you hear the like guns, for example, Legion shooting from the basement, you understand that they are not roaming, so you can go on the map easily.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Virtus.Pro adapts and reacts to different teams in the future. But Joystick, thank you very much for joining us today on the interview. Congratulations again on the victory. VP with 2 points at the end of their game versus Team Secret. Jack, that was a hell of a game. I think we're going to need a moment to rest up.
Yeah, we just need to cool them nerves down.
And I think there is no better way to cool things off than to debut, as we like to say, a brand new segment in our show. It's basically a halftime piece, but it's the last week with a Fluke and Fresh. That'll be right after this break.